Marco. It's almost always Marco. What's up, buddy? Keep the knife free. What's up, man? Yeah, funny story about this shirt, Keith. It was on Instagram. It was only $5. So I ordered it, right? Now, I'm not a fine print reading kind of guy. So I didn't bother reading the fine print. A month later, they hit me for $20 for some membership that I guess buying the shirt entered me into. I will say I emailed them and they canceled it immediately. But long story short is they did everybody that way. That means they got $25 for the shirts. Pretty smart, I guess. But yeah, it's got something on the back. I still like the shirt. Leaves a little taste in my mouth though, knowing they got me. What's up, Paparano? Seen you around in a while, buddy. Hopefully after Blade Show you can get me that knife where I can rehandle that bad boy for you. I did the scalloped kind of rock texture, not really rock texture, just a straight line scallops on his G10 handles. And apparently, Paparando doesn't find it very comfortable. So we're gonna redo them. But I just got a little bit. I ain't gonna be live for no 3 hours tonight. I'm gonna be here a while, but I know other people are coming, and I just figured I'd turn the camera on and work for a little bit till they get here. Let y'all join me. I haven't really got anything super interesting to say, so I'm gonna get to grinding, guys. Here we go. I did get belts in today. Those grinding belts I ordered, I appreciate that again, Ed. I got some in today. So I can grind those magnet cut blades. Those of you watching the other day, I was grinding my last true-wear tug. Man, I just had to stop. I think these are cubic zirconia belts. And, man, it just wouldn't remove any steel. Doing fine on the Nitro V, but I got some brand new 36 grit ceramic now. Speaking of freedom, Keith, I just got Ruger American Gen 2 308 with the fluted barrel and all that. Man, I'm loving that rifle. I put a Vortex 4x16, the Crossfire 2. There's nothing wrong with it, but I don't know. It just feels a little cheap for the rifle, so I may end up. Oh man, Papa, I'm sorry. But you can give me that knife sent off whenever it's convenient to you. We'll get that thing rehandled. Show y'all here. This is the kind of stuff I get excited about now. Brand new ceramic. Stoked about that. Yeah, I think I want to get a lift hole. The only reason I don't like that Crossfire 2 Keith is that you have to take the caps off to adjust it. And I want the click-in turret, so I don't have to do all that. My dexterity issues, I think I'd rather have that big knob turret to adjust. focal plane, so, you know, that means if I have to reach out there, I actually have to adjust the scope because I can't use the MOA marking. It's too inconvenient. Even though in Alabama we rarely ever get shots over 100, 150 yards. Last year our kill was at 281, but that's rare. Had a bunch of people giving me shit about getting 308 instead of 6 arc and all these damn exotic rounds they got now. But I just don't like something I have to hunt ammunition for. I was out there hunting Papa Rhino's land and, you know, was having to make regular 700, 800 yard shots. It might be a little different. But I haven't received an invite from Papa Rhino to come hunt his property yet either. I don't blame him. I'd be stingy with it too. I'm about to the point now where I have to hunt, almost have to hunt agricultural fields. I can't climb the sides of those hills walking up and down hollers and mountainsides. I need somewhere I can just pull up side by side and throw my deer in the back. I still don't think 308 would be a different issue even out there. Now if I can get my stupid tax stamp back, pay for a tax stamp for a suppressor. Everybody I know that's done it got theirs back within 36 hours. I've been waiting 7 months. The government don't trust me. You must have got good at it, Mimo. You still here. I should have taken that comment a little sensitively, that my dad actually did actively try to kill me when I was a kid. died in prison, so I'm still here. I will say, Keith, I think these are cubic zirconia belts. I think. I've had them for a while. But for some reason I had in my head that I didn't like them. Man, that's 36 grit. And look how clean that grind is. It leaves a beautiful, beautiful grind line. It is, however, jumping up on my plunge a little. That's the thing. One thing I like about these belts is they dance a little. Gerald's Goblin. What's up, Gerald Goblin? I don't know if you were here for the other live sheets, but I was running out of belts. That's why I went back to using these. And I tried a trick that Steve Florey taught me. Got a cheap wire brush, and I'd bump it against that wore out 36 grit ceramic, and it would bring it back. Like you could actually see the sparks that show the difference. It didn't last very long. But it would bring it back, and it got me through anyway. I know what you're thinking, Keith. You're watching me grind this, thinking, is he really going back and forth across that belt? Every video I've watched about grinding bezels says you're not to do that, but I've always done it. And I feel like I have really good control. My grind comes out nice. So. I have an issue, I'm going to keep doing it. You're right, Keith. It ain't a problem until it's a problem, man. Good seeing you in here, though. I know you don't get to jump on as much often as phone. Yeah, actually, Mimo, I talked to him 2 or 3 times today, man. He was literally in tears. He's going to get to go. He's actually there now. I couldn't believe they let him come on a Saturday, but he's there now. They've already started running some tests and stuff. I think I'd come back Monday and then go again, but yeah, man, it's not near as cool that I set it up. It's really cool that you guys participated. There were other people that wanted to help with like donating some stuff, and I felt bad, man, but I don't think people realize how stressful it is trying to coordinate all that on the spot. I just didn't have the mental capacity to make it any bigger than it was at the time. We were literally figuring it out while we were live, how it was going to work. And it was very gracious of people to offer other donations, but just couldn't wrap my head around doing more than one at once. The biggest impact it's had on him, Mimo, is he just wasn't used to people caring about him. When you experience that kind of compassion from total strangers, it's pretty awesome, man. He really couldn't wrap his head around it. You know, he was like, who are these people? I had to explain to him, he don't do much online stuff. But James, I've never even met most of these people. These are friends I've made on the internet. You know, I think about, my past being in situations like that when, when he was contemplating even going to Atlanta to see these doctors, he had to think about, what if I'm there all day? How am I going to feed my kids? Man, that sucks to have to consider things like that. But I've been there, so I know how he feels. So I can imagine how he feels knowing people helped him. Yeah, you're 100% right, Izzy. This will be the last bevel I grind on this belt. I'm going to keep it for shaping and stuff, but I'm not going to grind any more bevels on it after this. Got a little bit of discal paper on this I'm trying to take out. Discal paper is good sometimes, but I didn't want it on this corn clip. Got a bunch of it out. Not all of it. Keith, are you gonna make it to Blade Show, buddy? That's probably a pretty good trip for you. What's up, Ryan? Word. What's up, Stevie? Had the vision of Stevie lounging around in his boxer shorts all day. I had a phone call with him earlier and he told me that's what he was doing today, laying around in his boxer. Not a vision I like having stuck in my head. But it could be worse. So what's crazy about these belts too is it still looks brand new. Like it hasn't even exposed any of the white in the ceramic. Well, it's not ceramic. I'm pretty sure it was cubic zirconia. I'd never heard of it when I ordered them, but I said it ain't worth a shit on crew wear. But slightly milder steels, it does an excellent job. Let me flip this plate over. I'll be right back. I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I'm a little bit nervous. Lee had told me to meet him here about 6 today. He had something he wanted to talk to me about. I really hope I ain't in trouble. Hope I hadn't made him mad. We'll find out soon enough. Brand new. Let's see what this thing does. Digging in deep, just like a brand new belt always does. Hello, Kathleen. I hope so, Kathleen. cutting it fast. Have to dip a little more often on the opposite side because it gets hot faster. Climbing up here quick though. Much faster. All that vanadium content in high-end steels does makes the steel much more impervious to abrasive. In turn, makes the edge last longer, but it's a lot longer process to grind it. This is where grinding the bevel gets really dangerous. Not dangerous for me, but dangerous for the knife. Because I'm getting that down extremely thin, almost to zero grind, so like one wrong bump, and it would just blow that edge right out. I do not go back and forth once I get that thin. Don't take any chances. I've ruined a couple of knives at this point. Sucks too, because you're right at the end. All you can think, man, if I just stopped, it was good enough. If I'd have just stopped. What did Shady KFS? I don't guess that's around for that. I found a couple of them, guys, where I got it so thin that right on the edge, it almost looked serrated, where you could see where the ceramics were starting to leave teeth. That's a little too far. We almost there now. We're about done with this. Keep in mind that other bevel that we ground was 90% done when I turned the camera on. This is going way faster. Why when you hear Sawtooth Dave talk about how much he spends on belts per knife, it's the smart thing to do, but he refuses to stand here and use a wore out belt. That's thin. I don't know if it's possible to get an edge thinner than that without it being a zero grind. That's the thinnest one I've ground yet. .07. That's right there, probably cut paper without an edge on it. That's gonna be a saucy mofo. Let's see what we got next. Then we still got more thugs. We'll just stick with the thugs since we're not, I don't want to have to change the angle on the jig. It's at a pretty good spot right now. I'm just gonna leave it. All I've got left after this are Javon's frets. And I really only set out to have one of those done so that he could at least show it off at Blade Show. If I can get the rest of them done, who knows, we might even be able to sell one at Blade Show. Or 2, or 3, or 4. I hadn't seen my herd of deer today, but I ain't been here that long either. They may have already passed through. They come up right up the hill, right outside the back door. That one buck, I don't know if you can see it in the pictures, he just had nubs. He was a 10 point last year, and he'll just stand there and watch me for 3 or 4 minutes at a time. They're not extremely wild. They're golf course deer, so they're kind of used to seeing people. That's why I would never hunt them. It's not big. It's not really a hunt. They'd just be killing a deer. That or across my throat, Stevie. But with this double chin, it'd be folded in half all the time. I'd have to tilt my head back where you could read it. That neck tattoo sucks. No, I've got 3 of them. When I got the first one, I swore I'd never do it again. It burns like fire, man. Over halfway, but y'all know that last half takes nearly twice as long. And by now you know why, because the belt's touching the whole flat surface instead of just the edge. Somebody mentioned something about Ron Crow going live yesterday. I didn't know. I feel horrible, but I didn't even know Ron Crow had a channel. I have to check that out. Well, I think thinking about him. I'm going to run his press through one more temper cycle. Get all the austenite out of that thing I can. I want them good and tough. I don't do a whole lot of making with toughness being my priority. When I do, I want to do it right. Look. Grinding away. What y'all doing? Yeah. I'm gonna turn it off here in a minute. Been to the river? I can tell you ready as a beat. Yeah, you got a little fun. You got a little alcohol in you today too. You look a little tipsy. You might be in pain tomorrow, man. You ready to just belt right now? Yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna go flip this over. I'm gonna end this. I got company. I appreciate y'all hanging out. We'll see you soon.